Greetings everyone! We are the Group 3 and welcome to our video presentation about our report in the research supports of art integration. So let me introduce myself first. I am Julian Bacalso and I will be the first reporter. So based on what we gathered, the data about the art integration, integrating the arts can provide many of other positive outcomes for students other than academic achievement. So aside from academic achievement, there are different benefits that the art integration can contribute to its students. So for example, art instruction helps children with the development of motor skills, language skills, social skills, decision making, risk taking, and inventiveness. So with the help of art integration, the students have contribution of and have a development in their different skills as they grow and learn about art integration. So art education connects students with their own culture as well as with their wider world. So the arts provide challenges for learners at all levels. So it is according to the Seneca Academy list number 1. So according to this data, art integration helps students for better analyzing of or interpretation of themselves. It improves themselves through different skills. Also, they can connect the students. So with the help of art and different ways and strategies of the teacher to teach or to use art in different subject or curriculum subject. So with this, they can connect and appreciate what is the contribution of culture to the students' life and progress. So as well as the wider world. The arts provide challenges to learners at all levels. So these could be a big contribution for the students' progress and for developing their interpretational skills. So another, we have an arts integrated classroom are more likely than students in a traditional classroom, setting the state assessment in language arts. In fact, being in an art integrated classroom increased the odds of students passing the state assessment by 77%, and the odds of passing the state assessment in mathematics was increased by 42% of students in the drama integrated language arts classroom. It is according to Walker et al., page 6. So in this study, they have a concrete and credible data that they have stated here with so in this research study, we find out that so we can conclude that an art integrated classroom can bring a big help to the teachers and the students' learning process. So the average effect found in the 27 well-designed and well-implemented studies, one can expect an average child to gain 4 percentile points in achievement as a result of an arts integration intervention. It is according to Ludwig et al., page 52. So in this part, there's a specific average of students who have a well-designed and well-implemented studies. So they use art integration and use it to improve students' performance in class. And also, it really helps a lot in improving the students not just in academic achievements but also in their personal and characteristics in the school.
So next is gather data about art integration. So a recent review of evidence carried out by American Institutes for Research or EIR should help. The study provides evidence that practicing art integration in a school positively affects the students' outcomes in several academic areas, in addition to improve attendance, behavior, and social skills. So according to the kanang Institute for Research, which is art integration is effective for kanang schools kay which is ang mga students makmainhan silang skills, makaton sila kung unsa jud gusto nilang kanang buhaton, then unsa pud di ay ang ilang skills which is makaenhance sa students. So next is, in fact, according to the report, findings from 44 studies of art integration programs meet the stringent criteria that Federal Urban Student Success Act or ESSA uses to determine whether an intervention is evidence-based. So the ESSA, which include a diverse array of programs and funding streams that states and local educational agencies and schools leverage to support school improvement and the student success. Next is, the EIR review identified 135 studies of arts integration intervention used in school, and 44 of 135 participating students improve in academic area or in a learning outcome like attitudes toward math, critical thinking, or tolerance. When they kanang participating in art integration, which is can improve their skills and their critical thinking.
Gather data about art integration. So during the past 20 years, education scholars and researchers have argued that arts integration, an instructional approach that uses concepts and strategies from the visual and performing arts to teach other subjects such as English and math, can improve student learning in those subjects, as well as affect other outcomes such as behavioral outcomes and social emotional outcomes. So during the past 20 years daw, ang mga scholars and researchers like naglalis about sa art integration kung tinuod ba nga maka-improve sa learning sa students. But definitely, if what I have researched, art integration helps children with the development of motor skills, language skills, social skills, decision-making, risk-taking, and inventiveness, and improve students' long-term retention of content. So there are two outcomes ng affect sa art integration, which is ang behavioral outcomes and emotional outcomes. So behavioral outcomes, from the word behavioral, means the way a person or thing acts or reacts. So kung pag-udlo sa teacher ang iyahang mga students, mausa na ang reflect sa behavioral sa usa ka student. Behavioral outcomes refers to the pre-specified goals or conditions that reflect the effect of one or more interventions on human subjects, biomedical or behavioral status or quality of life. Then, emotional outcome means like when a teacher teaches students in a creative way and teaches students with the heart. The emotional outcomes of the students are they will admiring, appreciating, liking, and motivating to learn. Students really love to learn if the teacher should teach the students very well. This report examines the relevance of arts integration to 2015's Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA, which includes a diverse array of programs and funding streams that states local educational agencies and schools can leverage to support school improvement and student success. So, in general, art integration has a big impact for the students. Arts integration brings focus to the whole child and embraces the notion that all students are different. Arts integration engages students and offers a variety of ways to construct and demonstrate understanding. Arts integration helps teachers rethink the roles they play and their relationships with students.
So now, let's move on to the observation of the characteristics of art integrated teaching. So the first one is clear activities, expectations, and outcomes. So at this point, the teacher clearly communicates to students in the academic and artistic content areas to be covered. Along with the activities and expectations for the art integrated unit, the class actively pursues the content between artist and visits. So if there's something that needs to improve, the teacher must communicate to that person so that if there is something needs to be enhanced, it can be enhanced. So the second one is the student work habits. So at this point, students understand and incorporate the expectations and student responsibilities that were required of the art integrated unit, such as a setup and the clean processes, like the scheduled class, like in Monday, who are the cleaners, and then the collaborative rules inside the student work groups, peer critic procedures, and agreed upon classroom management rules. So dapat ka ng well organized nimo ang kanang kuan sa kanang students works. Pareha nang imong kanang calendar. Dapat kanang ang sa students ano ni kay expected na niya unsay kanang dapat.
Research supports of art integration. Equal participation connected instruction. The teacher and artist participate equally in teaching, explicitly connecting and reinforcing each other's instruction, and modeling coordination, cooperation, and mutual support. Content integrity. Artists and teachers both maintain the integrity of their content areas. We strive to maintain our content integrity as our responsibility of accredited continuing education provider to ensure the educational activities are developed independent of the influence of commercial interest organizations. Also, content integrity, it includes identifying, resolving, and discussing conflict interests. Applied arts concepts. Art concepts are actively applied to investigate and depend academic content.
Next is the outcome of arts integrated learning. Evidence from students writing depths of knowledge. Following Nomans and colleagues' 1998 guidelines, investigators judge students' growth in depths of knowledge by examining the degree to which the writing was elaborated, including details, examples, reasons, and/or generalizations. The responses students provided to writing prompts provided little evidence of differences between knowledge acquisition in arts versus non-arts units, which means the judges judge the students' their learnings and knowledge by reviewing and overlooking how they make reasons and how they write their details and how they write their examples to make it in a convincing and a satisfying statements. To assess students' growth in their analytic interpretation, investigators look for their evidence of interpretation, analysis, synthesis, or evaluations of the subject matter. Indeed, arts have been found in national samples of students to be more associated with a smaller achievement gap by Sancho, Anapliu, and Iwanaga in 1999, wherein the students' growth will be taught in a way of taking and focusing on how they interpret, how they analyze, and how they evaluate the specific tackled subject matter, which is the investigator will be the one to expose and will be the one to teach them what would be the things that needs to be improved. Facilitating students' analytic interpretations is perhaps one way in which arts may help faster increase students' achievements. In other words, assisting our students, or even us from our teachers, it will be a good way for us to help and to improve ourselves. Just like if we are being corrected, or if someone helps us to bring about what's good for us to enhance or to improve ourselves, then it will be a good idea or a great way to improve ourselves, or to have a great chance in dealing with something important or improving things. And that's the end of my report. Thank you for listening.
Future research. Just how students' arts integration learning provides these cognitively different experiences is worth further study. Through this study, student voices about their arts-integrated experiences provided evidence that the arts support learning in ways that are critical to fostering more self-sufficient, yet interdependent learning. Intrinsic learning motivation. Research could explore a more complete set of dimensions of achievement motivation, that arts integration may active, intrinsic, and extrinsic rewards attribution for success or failure in school, cognitive engagement, and aspects of self-concept.
Democratic access to intellectual challenge. Students approach challenges in the art units more positively than challenges posed by non-art units. The arts appear to remove barriers of competition and correctness, allowing students the space to solve problems in ways suited to their own understanding and goals rather than in one right way. So, independent learning beyond school. Students were more amped to have connected with the content knowledge in their art units in ways that led them to pursue knowledge independently outside of class. The dalawang subjects or unit is not just mga challenges o mga problems, right? Mas kikita kay naka-encounter ko ta ana, pero some other students kay lahi na jud ang ilang pag-approach sa challenges sa kanang naay involved ni art, mas positive ilang pag-approach na ban like sa ubang subject. So by art sad is bali nag-remove siya og kanang barriers na remove yung barriers. So bali sa arts kay kanang we can do what we wanted to do nga kanang walay hadlang kasi walay kanang mo correct mo or kanang walay mo pugong nimo nga buhaton na siya. So we can even solve problems in the way we want, no, kanang in our own way and our own understanding.
So now, let's talk about how arts integration affected students' learning experiences. So the investigators found three clear, almost universal themes when comparing students' discussions about learning in general, learning in non-arts units, and learning in arts units. So, first, we have improved learning environments. These learning experiences translated into students' assessment of their learning as deep understanding as opposed to simply remembering information for tests. So this can improve learning environments. So the students will analyze, internalize what are the connection of that specific topic and how they will interpret or dig deeper from that specific learning. So there's the students' assessment of their learning as deep understanding. So at what I've said, the deep understanding of that specific topic will also the use of art integration. So next we have the engaged content. The arts work they participated and transformed their experiences for the academic content mastery from one of dislike difficulty to one of the constructive challenge, potentially indicating arts integration as a mechanism for retention of students' engagement in the learning process. So art integration is considered to be the students' engagement on how they will deal and perform the specific exercises of academics and academic content mastery. So with this, the skill difficulty to one of will turn into constructive challenge. So they will have the integrated learning to happen. And now, the third one was the broadened learning communities. Arts integrated units broadened students' experiences of learning, extending the boundaries of learning well beyond the traditional classroom. So of course, with the help of art integration, the students will explore different things. For example, this will not end by a specific traditional classroom learning like the teacher were just discussing on the board and the students will take notes and listen to what the teachers is discussing. But in art integrated classroom, this will be help students to broaden their mind, to broaden their skills, and to broaden their experiences of learning. So art integration is a big contribution for the students, broaden learning communities, and will help them to have to explore different and extend their knowledge.